Hi, I'm Jesus. No, I'm not. I just need a haircut and a good shave. Jeremy Lin. I want to discuss Jeremy Lin for a little bit. He's my favorite player in the NBA. Been following him for a while. I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of his career as some Lin fans do. He sat the bench for like a couple years. Well, I don't know what it was. Then he got on the Knicks and he gets a shot and he nails it. Or he got into the game one day and he played pretty bad. The coach gave him another chance. Some people don't remember that. And that's when he nailed it. And then like for a string of games after that, he just killed it. Unbelievable. The dude is a great player. Then he goes to the Rockets and everything was lined up for him. And then James Harden comes to the Rockets, and if you're a point guard and you have to play alongside James Harden, it's going to be tough to really make a mark. Let's just say you're at a significant disadvantage when you have James Harden, but still Lin played pretty well for the Rockets, and he played on a team where it was his style, even if he had to play with a truly ball dominant shooting guard. But like the Rockets ran the ball downhill, and that's to Lin's advantage, but it still was not a good situation for Lin for a variety of reasons. The Coach McHale wasn't really enthused with his style. McHale liked a more conservative point guard, and that's just not Lin's game. And then Lin goes to the Lakers, and well, man, that was just messed up. I mean, for one thing, the Lakers were tanking. They did not want to win games, literally. So Lin was suppressed because the more you have Lin on the court, the more W's you get. You can't if you have Lin on the court, the more W's you get. They wanted L's, so he was suppressed. He didn't get a lot of playing time. Kobe Bryant is, let's just say that I've heard a lot of players say that I've heard a few players at least. I don't know how many the numbers. He's a difficult person to play with, and I think that I don't think Kobe Bryant brought out the best in Lin. I think Kobe Bryant was a nuisance, and he was also obviously extremely ball dominant, just like James Harden. And if you're a talented point guard, most talented point guards just are not going to come real close to their potential when you play with such a dominant shooting guard. It's a significant disadvantage. Then he goes to the Hornets, and he was basically a sixth man on that team. He got legit minutes, but again, he had to play. Here's a situation where he didn't really get to play point guard that much. He was relegated to playing shooting guard more, and while Kemba Walker is not as ball dominant as Kobe Bryant or James Harden, still, Kemba Walker shoots the ball a lot. And so, of course, that's going to take touches away from Jeremy, and it's going to make his usage rate go down. That said, Lin did play pretty well for the Hornets. I got to be honest, though. If Lin would have had a better shot, if Lin would have had a better jump shot, mid-range and three-point, I believe he could have averaged 15 a game for the Hornets. At least 14, maybe 15. Even under those circumstances, even only averaging about 26 minutes a game. I don't remember what his average was. There's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind that he could have averaged 15 a game. Had he done that, this year he would probably be getting paid $16 million a year or more. But whatever. That's one of his greatest weaknesses at this point, is his jump shooting. He needs to improve that if he wants to bring his game to the next level. If you can get his jump shot up and he can get his three-point shot up, then he will be on another level, period. Because he does a lot of things well. He plays legitimate defense. He has good court vision. He is elite driving to the hole. I think he should add a few more moves to his repertoire, but still I would consider him elite at driving to the hole, or at least close to elite at the minimum. But I think what's lacking most in his game is his shooting. It has to improve. And now he has been given $12 million a year to play for the Brooklyn Nets. this is Lin's test. A lot of people say Lin is this, Lin is that. Lin can be a great player. He can be a top 5 point guard in the league and the whole 9 yards. Well, this is Lin's test because I guarantee you, Lin will be used correctly this season. He will be used correctly. The stars are aligned. There's not going to be a ball-dominant shooting guard on that team. That team doesn't have any talent I haven't really looked into the roster. I didn't follow them last year, but the indication and the interpretation I get from the minimum material that I've looked over is that there's just not much talent on that team, period. Lin's going to be like a first or second option. He's going to be a leader on that team. He's probably going to average about 32 to 37 minutes a game every night. His teammates are going to look up to him. His teammates are not going to freeze him out because, frankly, he's going to be one of the top scorers on the team. They can't freeze him out. There's no firepower on that team. So I think it's good because I think a lot of Jay Lin fans say a lot of shit, hyperbole. And there's a lot of haters who downgrade his level. So the truth might be somewhere in between. Here's my prediction for Jeremy Lin for playing with the Nets for a year. My prediction is that he's going to average 18 points a game and 6 assists. That's pretty optimistic. 18 points is a whole lot of points. The reason I think he will be able to average 18 points a game is because of the amount of minutes he'll get on the court, because of how much usage he will get. His usage is going to be extremely high because there's not a lot of talent on this, partially because there's not a lot of talent on this team. Why only 6 assists? Because I don't consider Lin to be an elite distributor like someone like Steve Nash or CP3. Players like that. I think he's a very good distributor. I don't think he's elite. So I see six assists a game, maybe 7, but probably 6. I don't see the Brooklyn Nets. I think that's the name of the team. The Nets, right? I don't see that team going to the playoffs just because I don't think they have the talent. I think Lin is a player you want on your team. He plays the right way. He plays intelligently. He is not a ball hog. The dude he is so incredibly unselfish that I admire him for that. And I feel like with the talent level he has an uncanny ability to contribute to a W more than maybe other players with his level of talent because he plays so intelligently and he doesn't really play egotistically. Everything he calculates, from my interpretation, is largely just to win. He's not looking for. He's not an egoistic player, and that's partially why he's so unselfish. He probably gets a lot of hockey assists and things like that because he's obsessed with winning. I hope on the off season, I hope the dude works on his jump shot because I think his shooting, his mid range, and his 3-point shooting is his biggest weakness. We all know he can drive to the hole. We all know he can pass the ball. He's a very good vision. He has very good vision. We all know he can play legit defense. I don't think he's an elite defender, but to say that he is a legitimate defender on the NBA level is a compliment because a lot of players aren't that. A lot of players are mediocre at defense. I would say Lin is legitimate at defense. And a lot of players just aren't very good at defense. I mean, on the NBA level, being a sufficient defender is quite a compliment in my book. We all know he's an intelligent player. Yeah, he turns the ball over more than he should. That's his other weakness. But I'm less concerned with that. I'm more concerned with his shooting. He needs to bring his 3-point shooting up to 37% at the very minimum. And he needs to get his mid-range game up. And that will open up the driving lanes, and it will just improve his whole game. So 18 and 6 is my prediction for Jeremy Lin. He will make the All-Star team this year, partly because his numbers will be good, very good, and he's one of the most popular players in the league. You combine those two, and the dude's making it to the All-Star team. And that's all I got to say. And the other thing I got to say is the haters, it's judgment day, my son. It is judgment day. Because when Lin goes to the Nets and he gets the high usage and he's basically a leader on the team, he's going to prove what he's made of. He's going to prove what he can do when he's in a situation that is very conducive for him to play at a high level. And for those who say he's going to be, the next Stephen Curry, or he's going to be a great top 3 point guard in the league, it's also judgment day for you. Because I don't think he'll reach that level. I don't think he has that level of talent. But I do think he's a very good player, way above average. And you got to realize, the NBA is pretty stacked when it comes to the point guard position. So being top 10 in the NBA today at point guard, if he can become a top 10 point guard, that will be extremely impressive. The last thing I want to touch on is some people say, oh, 12 million a year, he's worth 17, he's worth 20 million, man. Other people say, oh, it's a ridiculous contract. No, the truth, in my opinion, is his contract is actually very fair. It's not too little, it's not too much. It's actually very fair. You got to recognize he's only signed for 3 years. You don't get paid as much when you get signed for 3 years. If he would have signed for 4 years, he would have got paid more. And he's received a lot of provisions to I don't recall exactly what they are, but he's gotten a lot of benefits, like if the team wins a certain amount of games, he gets paid more. It's just clauses that he's got. So it's a good contract. It's a fair contract. Then, like I said, if he would have, had a better jump shot last season, he would get paid a whole lot more. So I think it's a very fair contract. It's very legit. And the stars have aligned. And it will be Judgment Day. And some of you all will be proven right. Some of y'all will be proven wrong. Have a nice day.